Sorry for the interruption, guys. So there is a small net issue. Okay. So the mirrors are made to reflect a light beam onto the graduated scale, and the angular deflection of the light ray is then proportional to the twist of its, hence the torque in the shaft. So in that angular deflection of the light ray is passing through the scale, we can measure the value about the angular twisting moment about the scale. For constant torque measurement from a steam turbine, the two mirrors are arranged back to back, and there occurs a reflection from each mirror during every half revolution. A second system of mirrors giving 4 reflections per revolution is desirable when used with a reciprocating engine whose torque varies during the revolution. This is the overall working operation of the optical torsion meter. So what is the main thing in the whenever the shaft is rotates on the optical torsion meters, automatically uh, uh, there is a light is passing through this uh, casting, and the twisting is moment occurred by this tension strip, and the light is passing through the mirrors. uh, there is a two mirrors, one light is passing through one mirror and it is reflected to the another mirror. There is an angular twisting moment, it is gets on the calibrated scale. So that is how should we measure that angular twisting of the ray by using these optical systems. You can see that p, you can see this p, the light is passing through this system, and it is reflected through one mirror, and it is also reflects through another mirror. These light rays are passing through the optical system, and the angular twisting moment of the torque we can measure by using this calibrated scale. It is the overall working of the optical torsion meter. And you can see electrical torsion meter in this system using two magnetic or photoelectric transducers. There is a two photoelectric transducer, which is the first photoelectric transducer and second photoelectric transducers. Okay, so it involves two sets of measurements. First one, a count of impulse from the either slotted wheel. uh, this count gives the frequency or shaft speed. You can see the slotted discs. These are the two slotted discs. These are used to count the frequency or shaft speed. These slotted discs are calculate the torque speed. And second one, a measure of the time between the pulses from the two wheels. This signal is proportional to the twist theta of the of and hence torque T in the shaft. It measures time between pulses from the two wheels. Second one is it measures the time between the rotation of these two wheels. The signal is proportional to the twist. The signal is proportional to the twist theta and hence torque T in the shaft. These two signals, these two signals T and W can be combined to estimate the power being transmitted by the shaft. Whenever the shaft is rotated, automatically the shaft speed can absorb the slotted discs is used. This slotted disc give the shaft speed, and these wheels are transmitting some amount of speed. There is a twisting moment occur. Okay, so in this twisting moment is calculated by the measure of time between the pulses from the two wheels by using these transducers. Okay, so it involves two sets of measurement, uh, a count of impulse from the either slotted wheel, and it measures the time between pulses of the two wheels. These are the two main things in the electrical torsion meter. And next one, strain gauge torsion meter. In this strain gauge torsion meter is also calculate the torque of the twisting moment by using the strain gauge setup. Okay, You can see the diagram. There is a strain gauge, a torsion meter. That strain gauge torsion meter is connected with the bridge formed on rotating shaft. A bridge is formed. Every stone bit circuit is arranged on the strain gauge torsion meter, and it is connected through the brushes of measuring device and power supply. How much power supply is giving to that brushes, and what is the measuring device? It means we can measure the torque developed on the rotating shaft. Okay, it is the strain gauge torsion meter, and you can see the types of dynamometers. Mainly, it is classified into absorption dynamometer, driving dynamometer, and transmission dynamometers. These are the three main types of dynamometers. We can calculate the shaft power. Okay, so the dynamometers is a device used to measure the torque being exerted along a rotating shaft as the to determine the shaft power input or output of power generating, transmitting the absorbing machinery. Dynamometers are generally classified into three types. It is absorption dynamometers, driving dynamometers, and the transmission dynamometers. So mainly the dynamometers are used to devise the measuring of torque. It is being rotating. Shaft is rotated. There is an input shaft power and output shaft power, and also power generating and transmitting and absorbing machinery. So these are all calculating by using dynamometers. In that absorption dynamometers, there are different types of absorption dynamometers. Mechanical brakes, in it has Prony brakes, row brakes, and hydraulic or fluid friction brakes, eddy current dynamometer brake, eddy current dynamometers, and driving dynamometers have. These are useful in determining performance characteristics of device such as pumps and compression. You can see the classification: torsion and belt dynamometers, epicyclic crane dynamometers, strain gauge dynamometers are the driving dynamometers, and transmission dynamometers. You can see electric cradle dynamometers. These are all different dynamometers. We can calculate shaft input power and output power, and power transmission and absorption of the different devices. You can see there is what is absorption dynamometers, and first one, Prony brake dynamometer. Okay, so it is a mechanical brake type of dynamometer. In this absorption dynamometer, the energy is converted into heat by friction, which it's being measured. The heat is dissipated to the surroundings where it is generally serves no useful purpose. Absorption dynamometers are used when the test machine is a power generation, such as engine, turbine, and electric motor. The types of commonly used include Prony brakes, hydraulic or fluid friction brakes, fan brakes, and eddy current dynamometers. You can see the Prony type brake of Prony, Prony type brake system. The Prony and the rope brakes are the two types of mechanical brakes chiefly employed of power measurement. The Prony brake has the two common arrangements in the block type and the band type. You can see the block type and band type, whereas the block type is employed with the high speed shafts with a small pulley, and the band type measures power of low speed shafts having relatively large pulley. The block type Promny brake consists of two blocks, wood each uh, of which embraces rather less than the half of the pulley rim. You can see the wood block and pulley. You can see the wood block and pulley. You can see the constructional details. There is a pulley, counterweights, blocks. These are the two blocks, lever, springs, weight. Okay, these are the different constructional details. How should we calculate the power of the shaft? It is P is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. P is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. 2 pi nt by 60. We can calculate shaft power. I know 2, I know pi. You can calculate speed by using different speed measuring instruments. We can calculate the shaft speed. Suppose it is 2000 rpm, 2000 rpm. And next we can calculate torque, torque and our tension springs. Okay, So the tension, how much amount of tension is developed in this Prony brake dynamometer, we can calculate T and by 60. So we can substitute these values. I can get shaft power. I can get shaft power. Okay. So it is the overall working of the Prony brake dynamometer, and you can see this is the construction and working. It is the brake power T into 2 pi n by 60, then W into L into 2 pi n by 60. How should we calculate T? That means moment of frictional resistance. We can calculate T is equal to W into L. Okay. Applications measuring power or torque developed by the power source such as engines on electric motors. And next one, rope brake dynamometer. These rope brake dynamometers are also used calculate the shaft power. So what is the construction? You can see it consists of 1, 2 or more ropes wound around the flywheel. So 1 or 2, 2 or more ropes are wounded on a flywheel or a rim of a pulley fixed rigidly on the shaft engine. There is a shaft engine. Okay, you can see what are the constructional details. There is a spring balance, rope, wooden blocks, cooling water, and dead weight. These are the parts of the rope brake dynamometer. The upper end is kept in position while the lower end of the ropes is kept in position by applying a dead weight. So a dead weight is applied. The upper end of the rope is connected to the spring balance. The lower end of the rope is connected to the dead weight. In order to prevent the slipping of the rope over the flywheel, wooden blocks are placed at interval around the circumference of the flywheel in order to prevent the slipping of the rope over the flywheel. Whenever the rope is touches with the flywheel, we can increase the shaft power. Automatically, we can add the dead weights and we can measure the shaft power. You can see the working. For the operation of the brake, the engine is made to run at a constant speed. So the engine runs on a constant speed. The frictional torque due to rope must be equal to the torque being transmitted by the engine. So the torque is contact with the constant speed of the flywheel. We can observe the shaft. If we can calculate the shaft speed, we can increase the dead weights. That means W is equal to weight at the end of the rope. S is the spring balance. N is the engine speed. D is the diameter of brake wheel. Small d is the diameter of the rope. You can see the effective diameter of the brake wheel, capital D plus small d. How should we calculate the brake power? It is W minus S into pi d n by 60 into 1000. So I can apply this formula. I can calculate brake power of the rope dynamometer. You can see the applications. This type of absorption dynamometer is mostly commonly used. You can calculate the shaft power. And also there are the different driving dynamometers, epic cyclic train dynamometer and wheel transmission dynamometer. These are the different dynamometers. We can calculate the shaft power. So it is overall about the measurement of torque and shaft power. In next class, we can see last unit in this instrumentation and control system subject. It is the elements of control system. It is very small topic. I can complete this subject in 4 to 5 classes. So thank you guys.